To a story gaining traction has major implications for the 2020 race. It's a gathering storm, a major liability now facing the Biden campaign. Let's bring in our next guest, author and conservative commentator, Kristin Tate. Great to see you, Kristin.
Great to see you, Liz.
Okay, here's the news. The Biden campaign is pressuring reporters to take its talking points, pushing back on Tara Reade's allegations that then Senator Joe Biden sexually harassed and sexually assaulted her in the early 90s. But now the New York Times is pushing back, blasting the Biden campaign, saying, stop saying our story does not show that it shows Reade's allegations, quote, did not happen. Our story did not report that. It didn't go there. It wasn't conclusive either way. And Biden has not personally denied the allegation. Your take on the New York Times now saying, stop it, Biden campaign, you're wrong about the take on our story. Your reaction?
Well, things have just gone from bad to worse for Joe Biden. He was counting on the mainstream media to carry him across the finish line, but by distorting this New York Times report to defend himself, he may now actually force the media to start covering these allegations because they really haven't up until now. You know, the mantra of the Me Too movement was believe all women, but for the last month, left-wing journalists have proven that they only believe women when it serves their political use. The allegations against Biden have basically been ignored up until now because he's a Democrat. ABC and NBC, as of yesterday, hadn't spent a second of coverage on these allegations. CBS had spent about 1 minute, MSNBC about 4.5 minutes. CNN had a blackout of coverage on this story until a 1993 clip surfaced of Tara Reade's mother alluding to these allegations on Larry King Live. And it's not like these networks don't have time to talk about Biden. I mean, Biden has been on these networks for a number of interviews. He's answered 143 questions over the last month. Not one of those questions was about this controversy. I mean, just compare this coverage to how the media treated then Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. During that time, the media just blanketed the airwaves with Christine Ford's allegations. We were told that we must believe Ford no matter what. The media ran with ridiculous claims that were completely unvetted, including one that said Brett Kavanaugh was part of a gang rape ring. I mean, the media is no longer functioning as a fair and balanced press. They are functioning as an arm of the DNC. It's a national disgrace.
Where are the Democrats standing up for women? I mean, you know, where are the I believe hers now? Are Democrats with their silence they're staying silent? Are they throwing the Me Too movement under the bus? Because here, they claim to have the moral high ground on this story, and they have said we must believe all women. Joe Biden has said that. Remember, the early 90s were the days of Oregon Senator Bob Packwood, who quit before he was expelled by the Senate for sexually harassing and assaulting women. I was there. In other words, I covered Washington at that time. I saw that story underway. And from 1987 to 1995, Joe Biden was the chair of the powerful Senate Judiciary Committee. It was also a time when Joe Biden was pushing back on Anita Hill. So, you know, Tara Reade is now saying, Joe Biden, please release the Senate records for your staffers, because I did file a complaint. I did report this. And if you release the records, it will show that. Your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, for all of Joe Biden's flaws as a candidate, this could be what ultimately takes him down. This looks particularly bad because the Democrats, including Joe Biden, made themselves the moral authorities when it comes to all things related to sexual assault. Just a few years ago, Joe Biden was telling us we need to believe all allegations of sexual assault, regardless of how flimsy the evidence is. The Democrats have been saying the same thing. In fact, the Daily Beast came out with a report today. They reached out to the top 10 women's groups, all of which are, you know, Democrat aligned, and not one of them had a comment about these allegations. This does a huge disservice to the Me Too movement, and it just makes the left look like such hypocrites. This could really come back to bite them in the general election.
Listen, the evening edit, when those allegations were, were brought up against then candidate Trump, we said give it a full vetting, do the reporting on it, let the American people see the information and decide. Now 5 people have come forward to support Tara Reade's claim that Biden sexually assaulted her because she told them about it in and around. Many of them told her, They were told about it in and around the time it happened. It includes a work colleague, a neighbor, and a new clip. It's devastating. Reade's own mother calling into the Larry King show on CNN at the time about her daughter's problems. That's more evidence supporting Tara Reade. She did file a police incident report with the D.C. police. Let me back up. You can imagine how terrifying it is and how scary it is for a woman to try to step up and make this claim. What do you think, Kristin?
These are credible allegations. We now have the 1993 clip. We have a number of individuals who have come forward to corroborate her claims. So we need to treat this with seriousness. I'm not saying Joe Biden is guilty. All claims of sexual assault must be, and sexual misconduct must be thoroughly vetted, and we need to treat them with the seriousness that they deserve. Unfortunately, we have a press that refuses to do that and is acting flagrantly partisan.
Kristin Tate, you're terrific. Thanks for coming on. Come back soon.
Thank you, Liz.